Imagine standing on the center court of the US Open. The crowd is deafening. And you have just become the first Filipino in history to win a Grand Slam singles title. For Alex Eala, this is not a daydream. It is just a Tuesday. At only 20 years old, Alex has shattered every glass ceiling in Philippine sports history, ascending to a career-high WTA ranking of world number 29 in early 2026. But if you think her success is simply about hitting a yellow ball over a net, you are in for a shock. Because behind the thunderous left-handed forehand and that unblinking competitive gaze lies a family story that reads like it was written for a Hollywood blockbuster. To understand how Alex became who she is, you have to go back to the source. Her DNA. The Eala family does not just participate in sports. They dominate them. If you have ever wondered where Alex gets her lung capacity, her mental toughness, her refusal to break under pressure, look no further than her mother, Riza Manoa. Long before Alex was a household name, Riza was making waves, literally. A national swimming superstar. A 1985 SEA Games bronze medalist in the 100-meter backstroke. Riza lived the grinding life of an elite athlete, 6 hours a day in the pool, working when no one was watching, building something out of pure discipline. That relentless, no excuses work ethic was passed down to Alex like a family heirloom. But the athletic bloodline does not stop there. Her father, Michael Eala, is a high-level business executive who understands exactly what it takes to build and manage a world-class career. And then there is her brother, Miko. Imagine growing up in a household where your sibling is not just your closest companion, but your fiercest rival. Miko Eala was a force in his own right, playing Division I tennis for Penn State University. From the age of 4, Alex and Miko were on the court together, pushing each other to the absolute edge. It was an incubator for greatness. When your weekend activity involves trading ground strokes at 90 miles per hour with a future college athlete, you get good, and you get good fast. But the real secret weapon in the Eala family story, that would be her grandfather, Roberto Manoa. While most children are learning the alphabet, Alex was learning the mechanics of a perfect serve. Roberto was her very first coach, taking her under his wing at just 3.5 years old. For the first 10 years of her career, it was just the two of them. He taught her how to play tennis. He taught her how to love the grind. He saw something in her that most people missed, a fiery, uncompromising competitive spirit that simply refused to back down. But here's where the story takes a sharp turn. In a country where basketball is king and tennis resources are notoriously thin, how does a girl from Quezon City end up training at the most prestigious academy in the world? It all started with a tournament in France called Les Petits As, essentially the World Cup for 12 to 14-year-olds. Alex showed up and conquered. She tore through the competition, catching the eye of some very important people. And then came the phone call. At 13 years old, she received an offer from representatives of a man named Rafael Nadal. Yes, that Rafael Nadal. The Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain, extended a full scholarship because they saw a future superstar standing in front of them. But think about the weight of that decision for a moment. Accepting that scholarship meant leaving her home, her friends, her entire support system in the Philippines, and moving across the globe to Spain. A massive gamble. A shocking leap of faith that most teenagers and most parents would be too afraid to take. The Ealas are not most people. With her family's blessing, Alex packed her bags and moved to Manacor. And that is where the story shifts from promising junior to genuine global phenomenon. Training at the RNA, meant Alex was on the same courts as the greatest of all time. Imagine finishing your schoolwork and then walking out to practice while Rafa Nadal is grinding through a training session 20 feet away. That kind of environment does not just improve your tennis. It changes the way you think. It hardens your resolve. Alex was not simply learning to play on clay. She was absorbing the Rafa DNA, that absolute refusal to surrender a single point. The results arrived almost immediately. In 2020, at just 14 years old, she shocked the tennis world by winning the Australian Open girls doubles title. A year later, she claimed the same trophy at Roland Garros. The Philippines was beginning to take notice. She was no longer just Alex the tennis player. She was a national hero in the making. But the defining moment, the one that changed everything, came in 2022 at Flushing Meadows. Walking onto the court for the U.S. Open Girls Singles Final, Alex was not just playing for herself. She was carrying the weight of an entire nation that had never seen one of its own stand this tall. And she delivered. She dominated from the first point to the last, not dropping a single set across the entire tournament. Her victory speech, delivered in a blend of English and heartfelt Tagalog, went viral within minutes. "Laban Filipinas," she cried. And 1 million Filipinos answered back. But as any professional will tell you, the leap from juniors to the WTA Pro Tour is a brutal awakening. Many can't-miss prospects vanish the moment they step onto a court against seasoned veterans who have been competing for their livelihoods for years. Alex, however, is built differently. Her 2025 season was nothing short of a breakout. She gate-crashed the elite. At the Miami Open, she delivered back-to-back stunning upsets over top 10 players, including a jaw-dropping victory over world number 2 Iga Swiatek. The tennis world was officially on notice. The girl from Manila was no longer just a junior story. She was a genuine threat to every name on the tour. By March 2026, she reached a career high of number 29 in the world, the highest-ranked Filipino in WTA history. She speaks Tagalog, English, and Spanish fluently, a true global citizen with a Filipino heart. She loves matcha. She craves her mother's calderita. And she carries the humility of her grandfather's earliest lessons into every multi-million-dollar stadium she walks into. But hold on, because we have not even reached the most intense chapters yet. Being a junior champion is like being the biggest fish in a small pond. Stepping onto the Pro Tour is like jumping into the open ocean surrounded by sharks. Alex did not just survive. She started swimming faster than anyone expected. She began 2025 ranked outside the top 150 and ended at having cracked the WTA top 100, eventually surging all the way to world number 29. Behind those numbers lies a training regimen that would break most people on day one. At the Rafa Nadal Academy, Alex's mornings begin long before sunrise, 3-hour on-court sessions, intense fitness blocks, and high school studies balanced in between. Her coach has spoken openly about her uncommon focus. While other teenagers scroll through their phones, Alex is studying match film and refining the heavy topspin that has become her trademark. That discipline was tested on the grandest national stage during the 2025 Southeast Asian Games in Bangkok. Representing the Philippines is deeply personal for Alex. Despite carrying the pressure of being both tournament favorite and flag bearer, she delivered a historic performance, becoming the first Filipina in 26 years to win the SEA Games singles gold, without dropping a single set the entire way. When she stood on that podium as the national anthem played, tears running down her face, it was not just about a gold medal. It was about a promise she had made to her Lolo Roberto years ago, to always play for the flag. Now, as we reach May 2026, the Alex Eala momentum is at a fever pitch. At the Italian Open in Rome, she opened with a clinical win over Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, then staged a thrilling comeback against world number 40 Wang Xinyu, rallying from a breakdown in the third set to advance to the round of 32. As of now, she sits at a live ranking of world number 42, with a blockbuster match against world number 2 Elena Rybakina on the horizon. But it has not all been smooth. With global recognition comes a level of attention that can become overwhelming. Recently, her team had to request extra security during practice sessions simply because of the volume of fans trying to catch a glimpse of her. A shocking new reality for the girl who once played on the shell courts of Valle Verde Country Club. But true to everything her mother Riza instilled in her, Alex has kept her feet on the ground. She tells younger athletes, "Listen to your parents. Listen to your Lolo. They know the path before you even see it."
So, what comes next?
With the 2026 French Open and Wimbledon approaching, Alex is locked in on one thing: a deep run at a professional Grand Slam. She has already proven she can beat the best players in the world. Now, it is about doing it on the biggest stages of all. She is not just chasing rankings anymore. She is building a legacy. Alex Eala is the living embodiment of the Laban Filipinas spirit. A reminder that it does not matter where you come from or how few resources your country pours into your sport. If you carry the work ethic of a national swimmer, the competitive fire of a Division I rival, and the quiet wisdom of a grandfather's dream, you can conquer the world. The story of Alexandra Eala is still being written. And if everything she has done so far is any indication, the most extraordinary chapters have not even begun. Whether she is lifting a trophy in Paris or fighting through a third-set tiebreak under the Wimbledon floodlights, one thing is certain. The entire Philippines is standing right there on the court with her. If you want to follow every moment of this journey, every serve, every comeback, every historic milestone, make sure you are subscribed. We will be here for all of it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.